Good morning, everyone. Let's try that again. Welcome to Chair Yoga with Olivia. I'm Olivia. This is my church home, North Presbyterian Church in Williamsville, New York. This is a Silver Sneakers Chair Yoga class, and I am delighted you chose to come today. If this is your first time, my goodness, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. It's lovely to have you with me again today. We are going to work on the sun salutation once again today. Since the sun is shining, it's a gorgeous day outside today. We're going to revisit that. Lots of modifications, and please feel free to take them. And let's get started. Chair, water. Yeah. One more thing is if you are not using a chair, you don't have to use a chair. I have this is certainly, you're able to do this in with just a mat too, so feel free to do that. If you've got to the point where you think I can get down on the ground, then by all means go ahead and do that. But this class, I'll teach it in a chair. Feel free to use another chair. I didn't bring my little device. Renee. Hang on. Thank you, and if you'd bring the remote down to me, that'd be great. Thank you. All right. So a little disheveled this morning. I'm in the midst of changing paraments here in the sanctuary, so next week you'll see something different. All right, come on out to the edge of your seat, if you will, please. Sitting tall on your sit bones, and really find the sit bones underneath you. Instead of that sort of fleshy part of your seat sitting back, sink into them. I like to place my hands on my thigh muscles right there as well, to remind my feet to stay grounded and not do all this sort of switching side to side. And so ground through the feet, through the sit bones, and then as you inhale, lengthen that spine, all right? Thank you. Thank you. And as I've said before, I want you to imagine you've got this rush of wind coming up the front body and down the back body here. So as you inhale, you're going to lift that front body. There's that rush of wind up the front. And then as you exhale, let that wind just swoop over the crown of your head and ground through the back body. All right, so try that image for a while. I like to use different images for breath work, and let's just try that today. Notice with each inhale, maybe you're going to sit a little bit taller. And with each exhale, the shoulder blades slide down your back towards the tailbone. So we really have come into seated mountain pose. One more deep breath. Exhale, open your mouth, just sigh. And then let your eyes just drift open. All right. So I'm really enjoying working on my neck. I find I'm always correcting myself when I'm sitting at my sewing table. So this is so good for the back of the neck and the muscles that support the head there. Draw the chair, pressing the chin back. Gives a great stretch. Just drop the shoulders as you do that. And then release, just let it come forward. Take a deep breath in, exhale again. I'm switching fingers. I don't really know why. I just am. And again, deep breath in, exhale. Draw the chin back, not down, not up, right straight back. Keep the shoulders pressing down. And release. Let's take one more deep breath. Exhale, drawing back. All right, now use that same finger and then tipping the head over to one side. Doesn't matter if you've got the other finger, then tip the other way. Come right back up, and then I'm going to switch and go the other way. Stay here, take a breath. And then keep that finger there and push the chin over towards the side, over the shoulder. Coming back, let's go the other way. and then back to the front. Tip the head over one more time, and this time add your fingers to the top. So just add a little deeper stretch there. And then maybe a little, let the chin drop down, and then rock back. We'll go the other way, same thing. Tipping over, just gently the fingers, and then maybe a little tip down, draw it back, again down, and back. Oh, my goodness, that gets into some tight spots in my neck. Again, I'm always correcting my posture at my sewing table, and actually when I'm looking at my stupid phone. Let's roll the shoulders around. So slide, connect with the earth, connect with the legs, which are connected to the feet, which are connected to the earth as you push forward. And again. And one more. And then let's go the other way. So draw the elbows forward. There's this great big circle I'm drawing on the side walls. Notice right away if you have two different sides. One shoulder maybe doesn't come up. One gives you a little bit of little tightness. Never feel like you have to work through pain, right? Just ease back. Find a better range of motion. Find what feels good. One more time. And then I'm going to reach that arm around and smooth out the world, all right? So elbow back, push it across the body and back. And again, push across the body. You should feel this stretch come all the way down into the middle, even the low back maybe. Again, get that back nice and warm before we move into our sun salutations. And one more time, and back. All right, let's take that arm up, wiggle your fingers, yeah, and down. So work at keeping that elbow lined up with the shoulder. And up, and down. And one more, and all the way in and out. Two more, in and out. All right. And so we're going to give that arm a rest. Notice right away how you feel. This should feel like you've done some work. We're going to slide that right arm around. It's like you're going to smooth out the world here. Make straight the paths. And again. And just keep that breath. Keep mindful of your breath. And so there's no holding of your breath as you do this. It's just as smooth and as steady as this movement is. And one more time. All right, it's lifting it up, a little wiggle in your fingers, and here we go. Lower down and lift. Notice at the point where you say, I think that's enough, and then just stop. Again. And one more. And then we're going to bring it in and out. Again, in. Maybe even turn that palm towards your forehead. And one more time. And out, dropping them both down. Let's lift up on the arms and pull right back in. Again, lifting and lower. Two more. We are going to use our shoulders today when we come into our plank position. I want to be sure they're warmed up. They're getting a little workout in the meantime, so maybe you'll even feel it in your shoulders tomorrow. And again, one more time. All right, and a little rotator cuff work right here. Open the arms, come right back in. And again, open them. And I'm keeping my elbows tucked in nice and tight next to my waist, so I want to be sure that my shoulders are doing the work and not my arms. And so keep the elbows reaching downward towards your hip bones. Again. Two more. And down. And press the hands forward. Deep breath in. Exhale. Bring them back. We're going to lift the heart. Press forward. This time round that upper back. Drop the chin down. And inhale. Hands back to the ribs. Lift the heart. Exhale. Press forward. Scoop the belly. Inhale back. So upper body work here. And back. One more time. And back. All right, take the hands on the back of the chair, and I'm going to just wrap my hands around and slide that right foot forward, lifting the heart. My modification of reverse plank. And then hands on the thigh, I'm going to hinge forward. So about 90 degrees here. You can soften the knee. I'm looking towards the toes. And then what I want you to do is bring the heart forward, and you'll find those hamstring muscles. And then just roll the toe in and out. Just come to the length of that muscle. This should not be painful. And again. All right, back to the center. Let's lift that up with you. Bring it with you and circle the ankle. And then out and in, a little range of motion around the knee and the ankle. And again, 2 more. Last one. And in, all the way out. Now, if you can just let that muscle, that leg, just sort of relax in there as you draw it out, all right? So just let it be dead weight in your hand. You can also grab underneath, but watch this doesn't happen. Use the strength of your shoulders to hold that up, but try to let that leg relax there. Breathing deep. One more breath. And release. That leg weighs a lot, doesn't it? Okay, left foot on the ground, grab hold of the chair, push into the heel of the hand, and just lift the heart. So you could really do this without the hands, but this gets the arms back. Lifting the heart. Here we go. We're going to hinge forward 90 degrees here. Yep. Look towards the ground. Move the hands to the right thigh, and then bring the heart forward. There's those hamstring muscles. And we're going to turn the toe in and out. Again, you can bend that knee as much as you need to. Again. And one more. All right, coming right back in. And if you were seated on the ground, you would just roll back on the fleshy part of your seat, as I am here just a little bit. And in and out. One more. And in, and then take it out to the side. If you're on the mat, go ahead and roll down and take this. And this is where I just want you to try to let the muscles in this leg relax. You're going to sit heavy on the sit bones. Belly is pulled in. I'm using my shoulder to hold my arm. Whole arm to hold this leg up. It's heavy. 2 breaths. One more. All right, drop that leg down. Let's take both legs out a little bit wider. I'll take some cat and cow here. Slide the hands back towards the crease of the hip. Elbows back, lift the heart. And then exhale. Surround the kneecaps. Roll the tailbone underneath and drop the gaze down towards the earth. And then again, come right back. Slide the hands, elbows back, lift the heart. Exhale, scoop the belly, and we round. Again, slide back, lift the heart. Exhale. Again, deep breath. And exhale. And just sit up tall and keep that body nice and still, nice and tall. I'm just going to hinge over a little bit, but I'm not going side to side this way. I'm just moving my straight spine around the sit bones, all right? And again. So all this doesn't happen, right? I'll make it look like some funky dance. And then let's switch and go the other way. Breathing deep. All right, and coming right back up to the center, nice and tall in the sit bones. We walk the feet in a little bit and arms out. Take a little bit of a tip. Now, if I was going to connect my breath with this, I would inhale here and exhale over. That navel's always pulling into the spine. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that arm up. Rise that other one up. Now we're going to use our core muscles to turn the body to the right. Thumb comes right to the heart. In fact, what I want you to do is lift the chest up. So bring the heart to the thumbnail. And then we're going to open the arms and just let them rest there if that feels better to you. But you're using those core muscles to twist. Easy twist here. All right, come on back to the front. Deep breath in. Forward fold this time. Tuck the chin. Look under the chair for a moment. And then halfway rise. Bring the heart forward and into our chair pose. Deep breath. Back to all sit to the sit bones. Hands back to the heart. Now, inhale. Lift the heart up to the thumb. Exhale, we twist. You may stay here. You can open the arms, drop them down, but you are twisting to your range of motion that feels good. Please don't crank into this yet. We are still warming the spine up. Release. Come on back to the front. Pull the feet back underneath you. Scooch the tailbone. Scooch the sit bones forward if they're not already. Let's get a little bit of flexibility in the feet right here by lifting and lowering the heels. Excuse me. All right, and now we're going to stand up. Deep breath in. You have choices. You may use hands on the thigh, here on the heart, or use the chair. Whatever you do, get yourself up nice and tall. Breathing deep. Coming into our standing mountain pose. Did you find it? Did you get there? The feet are working hard. All heels are underneath the sit bone. All parts of your feet are on the ground. I don't mean to say sink into them because my fear is you'll sink into your hips. I just want to say press them into the earth. All right? Draw the tailbone downward. Lift the heart. Release the hands. Maybe let the palms begin to press forward, so a little rotation in the shoulders. Hey, let's breathe and take that, lift the front body, ground through the back body with that rush of wind. 2 breaths. One more. All right, deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Release the head, look back towards the knees, and then halfway rise. We're going to slide up the legs, maybe to the shins, maybe to the thighs, getting that back flat. And that means you need to pull the navel in, draw the shoulders together, point that tailbone towards the back wall, crown of the head forward, and we're going to circle sweep. Here's our chair pose. I'm going to actually make it more like stool pose today. All right, so I'm going to stay up a little bit higher first. Okay, we'll get to chair pose in a little bit. Let's stand up a little bit higher. Rise up. See if we can circle sweep and find that stool pose again. Excuse me. Again, rise up. Tailbone underneath you, shoulders down. Exhale, circle sweep. Come into that stool pose again. Notice I'm not coming forward here. I'm sending my hips back. Again, deep breath. Exhale, circle sweep. Sit back onto your heels a little bit more. One more time. And circle sweep. Just easy stool pose. Hold this right here. All right? Check out this form on you. Can you still see your toes? Maybe push the hips back a wee bit more. So maybe you can almost see your instep there now. Just be sure we're not forward here. The heart's moving forward, all right? I'm not hinged here. I'm bringing the heart forward. And then the tailbone is not tucking underneath me. It's not lifting to the back wall. It's in this neutral position. In fact, go ahead and do that. Lift it up, tuck it underneath you, and find right in the middle. You're not feeling any kind of a pinch in the back when you do that. That belly is engaged. Reach. All right, we lift up. Was that long enough to hold that chair pose? Lifting the fingers upward, salute, splay them out, and then release. All right, let's shake out side to side. Grab a drink of water. I have to find mine. It's here somewhere. And we'll move around to the back of the chair. All right, very nice. Come into our downward facing dog first, just so I want to give you a couple of variations for this today, okay? I'm going to put the heel of the hand on my chair. Of course, it depends on what kind of a chair you have. And I'm going to splay my fingers out. And then I'm going to step my feet back. So my feet are underneath my hips. My knees are soft. My tailbone points to the opposite wall. You may be looking at the chair, back of the chair. You may be looking more towards the ground, depending on your flexibility in your shoulders. Find what feels good. All right, take your gaze and step into it. Okay. We're going to do it again. I'm going to give you another variation, and I'm going to turn my chair around. And maybe you should too. Yeah. Okay, here's another variation. We can keep the hands on the top of the chair. Stepping back once again, you're looking either at the back of the chair or the seat of the chair there. And I'm doing this in preparation for our sun salutation. Deep breath. All right, I'm going to take the hands back on the chair, take the gaze forward, push right back up. Here's the next level. Stay right where you are. The hands come onto the chair. Now what you'll notice about this is when I come into this, my head is going to fall maybe a little bit lower than my heart. Now if you get dizzy, this is not going to be a choice, an option for you. So please feel free to stay up or to use the back of the chair. Belly comes in though, always to support that back. Tailbone points to the back wall. We take that deep breath. This time, let's take one hand on top of the other. Now, if you're up on the chair, again, that's fine. Take one hand on top of the other. A little side stretch. And then we'll move to the other side. Same thing. One hand on top of the other. Okay, come back to the center. We're going to step into the chair. And if you haven't turned your chair around, go ahead and do so. So you are looking at the seat of the chair, but you're still looking at your device. I'm going to keep mine here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, feet right underneath the heels right underneath the sit bone. Standing nice and tall, coming into our beautiful mountain pose. Now look, my legs are not locked out. I have just a little micro bend, a little bit soft. I don't want to feel any pressure pushing back on the knee. So sink into the knee just a wee bit. Tailbone draws to the ground. Draw that navel towards the spine. That allows that to happen. You open up that low back space. Maybe rotate the palms forward just a little bit. Tuck the chin. All right, here we go. Sun salutation. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. Hands on the chair if you'd like, or as we do, slide up the legs, release into our beautiful chair pose. And I'm simply going to stay stool pose today so I can see the knees. Hands find the chair. We're going to step back on the right foot. Now toe ball heel goes down. We rise up into warrior one. Reaching, but drop the shoulders. Splay those fingers out. Yeah. Breathing deep. Reach forward. Hands find the chair. Now what I want you to do is lift that back heel. Notice my shoulders are over my wrists here. You can always use the fingers or grab hold. Let the heart come forward. Draw the tailbone towards that back heel. This may be your plank position today, but if you want to move into plank position, you're going to hold on tight in the core. Stretch that left foot out. Again, my tailbone draws toward the heel. Heart comes forward. And from here, we go into downward facing dog. Feel free to use the back of the chair or the bottom. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Look to the chair. Little baby back bend. Step into the chair. Reverse swan dive back up. Let's take that forward fold. Halfway rise. Circle sweep into our stool pose. Hands find the chair. Step back on the left foot. Toe ball heel goes down. We rise back up. I hope you're keeping up with me. Here's our warrior one. Splay your fingers out. Energy out the arms. So they're not just come along for the ride. They are doing some work. My front knee over the ankle. The back leg is straight. Reach forward. Put your shoulders right over the wrists. And then I'm going to lift that back heel. You have to come forward to do that a bit. All right. tailbone draws towards the heel, heart comes forward. You may keep this as your plank position if you'd like. If you want to slide that right leg out, nothing changes. My tailbone's drawing towards the heels, my heart coming forward. Again, shoulders right over the wrists. Back to downward facing dog. Breathing deep. Take the gaze over the chair, stepping into the chair. Reverse swan dive back up. We're going to do that again. Right side, left side, forward fold. Halfway rise. Circle sweep into our chair pose. Beautiful. Hands find the chair, step back on the right foot, toe ball heel. Knee over the ankle, back leg straight. Warrior one. We rise up. This time we're going to move into warrior two. So you're going to resituate your feet a bit, reach that left hand forward and the right hand back. Beautiful warrior two. Palm to the ceiling, let's lift up. Reverse warrior. Forward fold, windmill the arms, hands back. We're going to keep that foot back there, come into our plank position. Here's your choice, right here, or slide that other foot out. Again, shoulders over the wrists. Back to downward facing dog. Take the gaze over the chair, towards between your hands. Step in, right foot, left foot. Reverse swan dive all the way back up. A lovely forward fold. Another halfway rise. Circle sweep into Utkatasana, but I'm calling it chair pose, stool pose today. I'm staying up a little bit higher. And then hands find the chair. Step back on the left foot. Toe ball heel goes down. Rise up into warrior one. Should you need that chair, bring it back with you. Or you know what does work sometimes is just to touch a knee there. Give you a little more support. Breathing deep. All right. Release the hands back. Oh, no. I'm sorry. We're going to come into warrior two this time, right? Yeah. So a little shift around, readjust your feet. Knee is still over the ankle. Reaching that right hand forward, left hand back. I don't want to say sink into the feet because I feel like you'll sink everything. I just want you to press the feet into the ground. Really engage the legs and do that. Palm to the ceiling. We go back to reverse, lifting up. And I like 3 breaths, so finish that one out. And this is where we windmill the arms around. Come back to the chair. You're going to lift that back heel, shoulders over the wrists. I can't stress that enough here. Otherwise, the seat's going to flip out from you. Maybe this is your plank position. Going to bring the heart forward, point the tailbone towards the back heel, or extend that out. So same thing, that tailbone draws towards the heel, heart comes forward. Downward facing dog. Splay your fingers out if they are on the seat of the chair and breathe deep. Take your gaze over the chair. We're going to step into it. Reverse swan dive all the way back up. Forward fold. Halfway rise. This time extend the hands to the back. Sink into the knees. Palms to the ground. Knuckles to the ceiling. Pull that belly in, and we're simply going to rise right back up to mountain pose. How'd we do? Let me know how you did in them. That was 2 rounds of the sun salutation. Yeah, let me know how you do. I'm curious. Okay, so I'm going to turn my seat back around, take my feet out wide, and turn both toes out. Okay, so my heels, maybe the width of the chair, a little wider if you can, and then sink into those knees. Keep the shoulders on the wall behind you so you don't have to sink very deep at all here. The deeper you sink, the more you're going to want to come forward. So just a wee bit right here. Coming into our beautiful goddess pose. Go ahead and drop the chin to your chest. Breathing deep. And then reaching out into star pose. So we make ourselves as tall and big, top to bottom, side to side as we can, and as thin front to back as we can. Come back in, drop the chin to yourself, almost if offering a prayer. Reaching out, hold. And release. I need you to get yourself a drink of water. I'm going to close the door here. We've got some kids that are out here in the back. I'm sure you can probably hear them. Good morning. If you don't know, we have a preschool here, and they're just as darn cute as can be. And they're busy out there in the back today. Okay, so I apologize. All right, drink of water for me too. Let's revisit that again. So turning the toes out, the heels are lined up with the legs of the chair, maybe a little bit wider. I want you to sink into the chair, if you will, please. Thank you. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Once again, dropping your chin to your chest, pressing the shoulders down. You get a draw the elbows down towards the ground, getting a really nice stretch in through the trapezius muscle that's like a V at the top, going into the base of the neck, the skull, and to the middle of the back. And then we reach up, almost as if maybe even stilling your mind, quiet everything, and then reach out and send this energy out. And then draw the energy back in. Come to stillness for a minute, drop the chin. Reach out, nice and big, drop your shoulders. One more time. Come inward. Reach outward. All right, take care of yourself first before you're ready to go out into the world, right? Let's turn that left toe to the front, the right toe towards the right wall, and we're going to keep both legs straight and come into our triangle pose. So my arms are straight, my legs are straight. Again, they're not locked into this. They have a little micro bend in them. And so I'm going to slide towards the right wall and let my hips push a little to the left. And then I'm going to come right back up and reach back just a little bit. Come right back up, head over heart over pelvis, reach forward. Come back, head over heart over pelvis, maybe a little reach back, and from here we're going to lift into our reverse triangle. Use the chair if you'd like. Notice that tailbone is still coming towards the ground. You want to try to take this kink out of the hip here by dropping that hip down. Let the fingers reach down. You can even bind this up a little bit. Send that left hand into your back right pocket. And this is where you grab that imaginary paintbrush up here. And here we go. We're going to windmill, come into triangle pose. My hips push to the left. I reach to the right. Windmill the arms. Taking the gaze forward towards your device. Use any hand or all hand if you need to. And maybe turn the chin. Finish that third breath. We're going to windmill this arm around. Come back into Warrior Two. That should feel pretty good after that. And then come back to the center. Come back to our goddess pose once again. So sink into the knees. Drop the chin down towards the chest. Reaching up nice and tall, nice and wide. One more time. Drop to the chest. Reach out nice and wide, and we take that shift. Turn the right toe to the front, the left toe to the left wall, reaching. Head over heart over pelvis here. So get those feet wherever they need to. I'm going to take this away just for a moment here so you see this. And then straight legs, not locked. I'm going to reach towards the left. I'm going to come back to the center and maybe just reach back just a little bit. Tailbone coming to the ground. Again, reach. Coming back, head over heart over pelvis. reaching back just a little bit, and we go into reverse. Now, you may feel this kink in the hip right here, so what I want you to try to do is to level out the hips. Let the tailbone draw towards the ground. You'll feel a really nice stretch down that right inner thigh as you do that. Use the chair if you need to. Another idea, palm to the back wall, stuff it in your back left pocket for a little bind. The purpose of a bind, open the chest, take more breath in. One more. And this is where we grab that paintbrush. We're going to hinge at the hip, at this hip crease right here, and push the hips to the right wall, windmill the arms, and come into our triangle pose. You can have a little bend on this knee, that's okay. It's important to find what feels good. Pushing the hips. I'd love to use this image that somebody's got their foot right here and they're just kind of stepping on it, but they're pulling my hand away to get me into this position. Looking towards the front of your device, maybe turn the gaze skyward should you find balance. And in this position, let the hips push forward towards your chair. Let the shoulders draw back towards the wall behind you, ever so slightly, so I can shove you between two panes of glass. All right, let's come right back up, come into warrior two, bend that front knee. Yeah, and then walk your feet in, both of them. Don't use the chair if you don't need to. And we go back to downward facing dog. Stepping back. Take that deep breath in. Exhale. Bend one knee, bend the other, whatever you need to feel good. Tuck the tailbone, point it back. And then, taking the gaze between the hands, draw the elbows down, take a little baby step into it. We're going to hinge at the hip, bend the elbows, and then push right back up, nice and tall. Again, elbows are going to draw down towards the ground, and you're going to push right back up. We're using a little tricep work here, all right? Elbows come down. Don't let them splay out. And right back up, pushing through the hands. Again, two more. And last one. All the way back up. All right, stepping over to the right side of your chair with the left foot. We're going to bring that right foot into sapling pose. So the ball of the foot's on the ground right here. You decide if you want to keep it there or you want to move into tree pose in just one moment. Okay, one hand at your heart. Now, should you need both hands there, maybe turn towards the chair, whatever you need to do, that's fine. We are going to find our tree pose here. The supporting leg pressing through the feet, not sinking into the foot, pressing into the foot. Finding a tree pose, maybe that foot's going to press up into the calf muscles there. Calf muscle, draw the tailbone downward, and then begin to look for your balance as you find your breath. Remembering using the chair does not mean you're not balancing, so feel free to drop that hand to the chair. And then we are going to drop that hand to the chair. With this foot, I'm going to tuck it behind and spoon my knees together. So I'm going to rise up on the ball of my foot on that front foot and spoon the knees together, right? Tailbone drawing to the ground. I'm going to take the left hand first, or the right hand first, and then should you find balance, I'm going to slide the other hand underneath and lift. Knuckles together, elbows together. My knees are bent, they're squeezing together. My elbows are squeezing in, my knuckles are squeezing in, and I'm looking just beyond the wrists. Eagle pose. Anytime you need the chair, drop it down. One more breath. Lift the elbows up a little bit higher and then unfurl the arms. Opening, stepping across with the right foot, step that left foot to sapling pose, and come into balance, all right? So I hate to say the word sink into the foot. Press the foot down. Draw the tailbone down underneath you. Really engage this. It's like a telephone pole. It's very, very strong. And as you begin to find your balance, find your breath, find your balance, find your tree pose. And then release. Drop that foot behind the other one. I'm going to rise up into the ball of the foot and sink both knees together. I should have said this. You know, you've been told not to cross the midline if you've had some hip replacement. Please feel free to keep both feet just in our easy stool pose like we've been doing today. But spoon those legs together. Draw the tailbone downward. And then we're going to begin to find our balance, whatever works best for us. So I'm going to start with my left hand on top. And then I'm going to slide my right hand underneath and lift. Yes, there we have it. Squeezing the knuckles, squeezing the elbows, squeezing the knees, looking beyond the wrist. 3 breaths. One more breath. Opening back up, step out, downward facing dog, one more time. Step back. Take the gaze over the chair, walking back into it. Let's grab a drink of water. We're going to sit back down. Breathe. Okay. And back out to the edge of your seat, please. Let's continue with that crossing the leg over with our number 4 stretch, our piriformis stretch. So lifting up tall on that knee. And if you've rolled back to the tailbone, let's try to sit up tall. So find the tip of the sit bones and then lift that knee up. Use those bicep muscles to get that leg up there. Belly comes in. It will help you with that straight spine. And then here we go. We're going to cross this leg up and over. You know, if you've had hip replacement, hip trouble, knee trouble, this doesn't feel good, don't do it. I'm going to grab hold of the outside edge of my foot here. And then with my left hand, you have, or right hand, you have choices. You can hold that leg up if that feels better to you. Just sit nice and tall. Or use that hand and press it down. Open that hip up a little bit. And then I want you to try to relax. Like, what, am I kidding? So find your calming breath. Lift in the front body, grounding the back body. We want that piriformis muscle to relax, to lengthen, because it does run right next to that sciatic nerve. And let's go ahead and cross this over. Again, if you've been told not to cross the midline, just put that foot down on the ground. We're going to do just what we did in the beginning. Keep this foot flexed, nice and tall, deep breath. Lift the heart to the thumb. And exhale, we twist one little bit. Another deep breath. Exhale, twist a little deeper if you can this time. Now, you may keep the hands there or open them up if that feels better to you, but just resting them wherever they land. Think about using those core muscles. Think about that straight spine. So watch the shoulder. These shoulders don't drop. You want to keep them parallel to the ground. Draw that right shoulder back a bit more. Getting that spine as straight as you can. All right, we're going to come back to the front, but slowly. You're not spring-loaded. All the way back. Uncross. So same thing here. If you roll back, that's okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, roll up, sit nice and tall. And then draw that knee up towards the shoulder as best you can. And then here we go with the crossover. And And maybe this leg is the one you're saying, not going to do. That's okay. Just drop it down towards the ground. I'm going to hold on to the outside edge of the foot. You may hold it up. You may push it down. If you're sitting back on the sit bones, pull that belly in and work at lengthening the spine by rolling to the tip of the sit bones. Breathe deep. One more breath. All right, and we take that crossover. Keep the foot flexed, hands to the heart. Sit tall. Deep breath. Exhale, one little twist. Another deep breath. Exhale, twist a little deeper if you can, keeping the shoulders parallel to the ground. So watch this doesn't happen, and then maybe open the arms. Draw that left shoulder back a bit more. One more breath. And then slowly come back to the front. Uncross the legs. Deep breath in. Exhale. We forward fold. Tuck the chin. Look back underneath the chair. And then inhale, halfway rise. Let's take the hands to the thigh muscles. Putting the weight onto them this time. And then we'll push right back up. Walk on back to the back of the chair. And a little wiggle in the fingers and toes. Splay them out. Yeah. Whatever you want to do there. That should feel really good at this point, right? And then roll the shoulders around just like in the morning. And sit on back into your chair. Let the muscles of the face just relax. Get rid of those furrowed eyebrows. Unclench the biting teeth. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And breathe deep. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bringing the hands together at your heart. Eyes open, soft gaze. I really went someplace else. Could have been there a long time. I hope you did too. All right. Thank you for joining me this morning in your practice. Remembering a heart at peace shall give life to the whole body. Namaste. Have a wonderful Wednesday, great week. I'll be back here next Wednesday again, but starting in July, we'll be back in person on Mondays. So if you are local, I hope you'll consider joining. Thanks again.
You're done? I'm done.